Are you ready for some tea, some wedding tea? Well, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Desiree here, and I am so very glad to see you. Allow me to sit this down. I truly do hope you've been enjoying this channel and all the tea I have been sharing, because I have plenty more for you. So let's go ahead and get started with the next story. And this one is called, I Wish You Would. Let me say it again. I wish you would. So let me give you a little background and a few little details about this wedding. This was one of our planning and coordination couples, all right? And they were getting married in July. And if you live in the Chicagoland area, you know July is hot as bleep, bleep, bleep. Anyway, they decided that they wanted to marry at a beautiful historic church, but it has no air. And their reception was at a venue in downtown Chicago. So they hired us to do the design and the planning for the wedding, and we hired some of the best vendors in the city. So I was pretty sure that this wedding was going to go off smoothly. That's what I get. I should have never thought like that from the jump. The bride was a bit uptight. And this couple, the bride lived here and the groom lived in another Midwestern state. And ultimately, after they married, they were going to move to that state together. But during the planning process, there was distance between them. And I mean physical distance. So a lot of the planning came about from the bride. And let me be honest, she wasn't one of those friendly brides. Like, I love those brides who befriend you during the process, and we get to know one another and the families and the dynamics of their lives and all of those things. This bride was like, you're a vendor, we're going to keep it like that, and I'm not going to give you anything other than what you're looking for. And I'm okay with that. That's what you paid us for, was to plan and coordinate your wedding. So let's move ahead now to the wedding rehearsal. All right. Remember I told you that church didn't have any air? Well, the wedding rehearsal was on a Friday evening, and it was about 95 degrees outside. Yeah, pretty hot, right? Facilitator, are you all going to open any windows or anything during this rehearsal as well as tomorrow? And she informed me that the windows that were able to open were already open. So I was like, oh, we're going to have to get through this rehearsal fairly quickly. Well, I'm just walking around, catching my bearings, all of those things, and people start to arrive for the rehearsal. Nice, right? I think we're going to start this thing on time so that we can move quickly and get out of here, because it's hot as hell. Just going to say it. It was hot as hell. All right. Well, anyways, all the wedding party's there. The groom is there. Their families are there, but there's no bride. I'm like, okay. So I head on over to the groom. I says, hey, have you heard from your lady today? And he's like, oh, yeah, she was doing some running around. She should be here momentarily. All right, no problem. Momentarily turned into about another 15 minutes. And now I'm getting concerned because we're in this church and we're hot. So I go over to the groom again. I says, hey, is she coming? Or what's going on? What we need to start? So he informed me that he had reached out to her, and she said, go ahead and start the rehearsal. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to worry too much. I mean, her job is easy. She just got to walk down the aisle with her dad. All right. So I get everyone lined up. We kind of move through the rehearsal fairly quickly. And here comes a bride. She is running down the aisle. Desiree. Okay. Hey, girl, how you doing? I need somebody to go pick up my shoes. Okay. All right. How about this? Let's wrap up the rehearsal, because we're almost done. And then you and I can have a conversation about your shoes. Right? Sounds plausible, right? She says, okay, but she's got an attitude. And I'm like, all right, it's hot now. Calm down, sis. It's a little hot. Let me finish running this thing here, and then I'll deal with you in the shoes. We get through the rehearsal. We wrap things up. Everybody is now free to go and head to the next location, which will be their location for their rehearsal dinner. So I'm now talking with the bride. I'm like, what's going on? My Jimmy Choos just arrived downtown. All right. Your Jimmy Choos just arrived downtown. And for the men who don't know what Jimmy Choos are, they're shoes. All right. I said, so what is the problem? If they're downtown and you're going to be downtown, can we just not get your shoes tomorrow? Where they're not going to be open until 11. I'm like, well, you're not marrying until 2 or 3. I need someone to go get my shoes now. Now, mind you, at this point, it's about 7:30. Now, let's say 7:15, 7:30. We're in the south of Chicago. All right. And in order to get downtown on a Friday onto Michigan Avenue to get these shoes might be a bit of a challenge. I says, hey, let's try this. How about we get the shoes tomorrow? I can get a messenger to go get the shoes, and as soon as they open, and we'll bring them on over to your hotel, and all will be well with the world. She's like, that's fine. Just handle it. Oh, okay. I'm going to let that one slide. I'll handle it. So I'm exiting out of the church, and I see the bride and her sister having a little conversation after our quote unquote banter regarding the shoes. And the sister comes up to me. Don't forget my sister's shoes tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to let y'all have 2. All right. I'm going to let you have 2. It's hot. We're a little tense. We are overheated, and the attitudes are elevating. And so I think I'm going to remove myself from this situation and head on back to my office to handle what needs to be handled. How about that? I says, no problem. Your sister's shoes will be at her hotel tomorrow. I'll get a messenger once again and have them delivered. I wake up on wedding morning with a smile on my face. It's hot as hell outside, but I know we're going to have a good day. The messenger has been arranged to go get the shoes for the bride, and I'm at church. It's hot. Guests are coming in. Guests are sitting down. People are complaining. I get it. I understand. It's hot, right? The groom is there. The groomsmen are there. They've got their suits on. Again, they're hot. I'm like, take the jackets off, kind of rest your nerves. The bride is en route in the car with her maid of honor, and the bridesmaids are coming with her parents, all of those people. Everybody is going to arrive on time. We shouldn't have a reason for this ceremony to start late. And truthfully, I want it to start on time. Remember, it's hot in July, okay? The bride arrives, and she's got those Jimmy Choo shoes on. And here comes the sister, Desiree. Where is she supposed to hide out at until the ceremonies start? In the vehicle. As I shared with you all during the rehearsal, there is no holding space. This is an older church. I could take you all downstairs, but you're going to be near the restroom, and if guests have to use the restroom, they're going to see her. So the plan is to keep her in the air-conditioned vehicle until it's time to bring her out. We'll fix her train, and she'll literally exit the vehicle and walk down the aisle. All right, but I just need to make sure her train looks good, her veil looks good, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, okay, sis, I get it. You are definitely spot on with your maid of honor duties. You're coming at me a little crazy. I'm gonna let you slide on this one, but I'm gonna make sure she's good. So myself and my assistant, we go ahead and we start to get everyone lined up. But here comes a bridesmaid running inside. Desiree, I need to talk to you. Okay, we about to start the ceremony, but pull me to the side. What's going on? Her dad is not going to be able to walk her down the aisle. I says, well, what happened? He's in the vehicle. She's like, yes, but he is not feeling well. And just a little backstory. Her father is ill. All right. He has some health conditions, and the heat is a bit overwhelming for him. And then also the heat inside of the church, because again, it's not air conditioned. This gentleman has on a tuxedo. He's overheating. He's not feeling well. He's not going to be able to walk his daughter down this aisle. I was like, okay, so let me go to the vehicle, make sure everything is okay. And the bride, she seemed a bit sad. She didn't like this at that moment, but of course you got to make sure dad's good. So mom was going to walk her down the aisle, and we were going to send that vehicle back to the hotel so that dad could go to the room and kind of rest and relax, get out of those clothes, maybe eat a little something, and then he would be a part of the reception. But unfortunately, he wasn't going to be a part of the ceremony. All right, I understand we need to do what is medically best for the dad. Anyways, we get the bride out the car, we get mom out the car, we start the ceremony. Everything seems to be going off smoothly, no issues. They're married. Yay. Way. Now let's pick this story up some now, all right? Let's head on over to the downtown venue for the reception. This is when the story really heats up. We're downtown now, and I asked Mom, how's Dad doing? She says he's fine. He's up in his room. He's not well, so I'm not sure if he's going to be coming down for the reception. I'm like, okay, no problems, no worries. We'll make sure he's taken care of. She asked me, could his meal be saved? If he is able to come down and dine, he will have it here. If not, could it be brought up to his room? I says, well, I'll work on that. I'll see what I can do. I'll talk with the hotel staff. We'll get things going. All right, cocktail hour is taking place, and the wedding party is out taking photographs downtown, but they're going to be heading over fairly quickly, so everything, again, is going smoothly. Well, the wedding party arrives, sister in tow, and here she comes, but Desiree once again. Tune back in. I Wish You Would is really about to get hot.